What's up guys, welcome to Bro Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you this cool chord trick to make chord progressions. There's a free download to this tool right here. This is what it would look like in the description or in the comment section, so make sure you grab that. All right, now I'm going to grab a scale that I like, and I tend to like F and G minor, so that's what I'm going to use. Now for this video, all right, we're going to start on this G. Now if you don't have scales or any like helpers or anything, just start on A and then use all the white notes. Same thing. So I'm gonna use this G. So what the first step is to just pretty much just go all the way up until you get to the next, G. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me zoom out a little bit. So we're gonna start on G, go all the way up. All right, simple enough. So now let's delete this last G because we already have a G. All right, and these are going to be our building blocks for our chords. So now what we're going to do is create a chord here. So basically to do that, you just skip every other note within this scale. So A, no, skip it, boom. C, no, skip it, go here, right? So now you have your chord. So just do that for each one. You could copy and then adjust, but that's it's too slow. So I would just continue doing this. All right, so now you have your chord progressions. Everything is laid out right here. All right, so I'll play them. All right, and then you could keep going here, but I don't think that's really necessary. But I guess we could. I don't see why not. Nah, I don't do it that way, so I'm not going to show it that way. So now what I would do next is highlight this half and control down. And you're like, why are you doing that? Well, I make hip hop or rap, modern rap, and like pop, right? So I don't want my melodies sounding corny or anything. So I'm going to pull these down, because if you later on, it's going to force you to pull your melodies up higher and higher because your chords are right here, right? So typically you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to mix these, so I'm going to keep going higher. And then your melodies are going to look like this. So what you want to do is at least bring this half down. All right, at least bring this half down. It's going to make it a little bit more realistic, when it comes to like making these melodies. So what we're gonna do now is either press this playback button or hold Alt and right click. Okay, and that's gonna play it for you, so you don't have to actually like click. Or you can press this button. So now what I'm gonna do is just find a chord progression I like within these. And if you want to add that last part, you can, but I don't think it's necessary. So let me just look for something. Zoom in. All right, so I think that's decent. So I'm gonna choose these. All right, so now what you want to do is just delete everything else. Just delete these, and let's pull them in. All right, so now the next step is to just add a rhythm. So I'm gonna click on these, and you don't have to do this. I just do this because I just like rhythm and my melodies. Boom. And if I play this metronome, you'll see that it has rhythm now. So now we spice it up a little bit. So now what we're gonna do is instead of adding like support notes and melodies, now what I'm gonna do now is show you how to like make these your own. So instead of just keeping it like this, I'm gonna show you how to kind of advance these a little bit more so they're not as basic. So what you could do is add another note. You can add another note and another note, but we're just gonna stick with one note to keep it simple. So I will skip this one and go to the next, right? And now you're gonna have 4 notes in this chord. Okay, and same thing here, skip that one, that one, skip this one. Let's pull these two back. All right, and it's gonna give you a slightly different sound now. It should sound a little bit like brighter or uplifting now. Okay, so another thing you could do is you can invert some of these notes. So you could say you just put these down, you could press Control down and you can invert them, and it may not sound as good because it's probably going to give you a little bit more tension because they're like really close together, but it should sound pretty good still. So and you see how it's giving you a different sound. All right, and now if we start with those original notes, so the third note, we could invert those. All right, okay, and then if you look, and if you ever like bought a MIDI or just got a MIDI and you're wondering like, how did they make these chords? Because you know, you listen to these videos and you're like, okay, skip every other note. But if you look here, if you were to start here and you try to deconstruct it, you start here, right, and you skip every other note, you're like, that doesn't make sense. How did they do that? Because you have to skip this one. This is how. Okay, they're just using the building blocks. You pull these back up, everything is in order still, right? But if you pull it down, it's kind of out of order. But that's just how things work. All right, so that's just how they're doing this. So we can keep these. I like these chords. So now what we're gonna do is take our bass notes, the bottom notes. All right, this is not the only way to do it. This is just how I do it. Hold shift, click and drag, control down, boom. Now they're gonna sound a lot more full. Let's pull these down. So now what we're gonna do is add support notes. All right, like the flow, to give it more flow. And then we can add a melody. We just add something like build off of this. Let's see, you could do something like this. And if you're wondering how I'm just picking these notes, it's because we already have the notes that work in this within this chord progression. So the A sharp and the G, we already have those. So it's pretty much easy from here. So let's probably do something. I think that's good. And we could add some flow, and this is like having flow. All right, so you can see like this goes up into here, and same thing here. And you can add other stuff, but let's just keep it simple. Something like that, and I think that's good. So let's play this. Okay, we can copy it over and just add some variation. It could just be something simple like this. All right, nothing crazy. And I think that's good. Let's see, what else could we add? I don't really see anything else that we need, at least for this video. I showed you inversions and everything. So yeah, I think that's pretty much good. And you could obviously Control A and then Alt, what is it? Is it R? Yeah. And you can like make it a little bit, change the velocity. But yeah, that's it. And then you just copy it. All right, remember, we already got our bass notes here. Remember that. Copy that over, go in here, copy it, make sure everything's pulled up. And boom, you have your melody now. And then you have the, your sound, your own sounds you want to pick. And boom. All right, and just keep in mind the better your chords, the less you really have to do. Because if these chords are like this, okay, I would probably have to add, some more notes. But the more you have, the less you have to, put in. And you can invert these as well. I think what did I just do? Invert some of these notes. If you want to confuse people, maybe you're making midis or something, you just want to seem like you're a god at making chords. chord progressions. You could just do something like this. They be like, what the heck? How you do that? All right, so hopefully this video helped you out. That's gonna be it for this one. Make sure you download that chord tool. All right, it's gonna be very helpful, especially if you are a beginner. Trust me, it really is. It's gonna help you learn a lot faster. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you learned something from it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.